Today we're going to be talking about the Jeep Wrangler, specifically the third generation Rubicon model. Talk about the history, we'll go over some specs, talk about the interior, the exterior, talk about price, and talk about some of the common problems and the known issues that this car has. Now, before we get started, this Jeep right here is listed for sale on our website on privateauto.com, the for sale by owner marketplace with transactional tools to buy or sell a car anytime, any place. Now, back to the video. Let's talk about some history. One of the coolest things about the Jeep history is that it goes all the way back to World War II. It's famous for carrying our troops pretty much where any normal vehicle wouldn't. And so when the war was coming to an end, the manufacturers decided to make a civilian version so they can continue making the Jeep. And thus was born the CJ, or the civilian Jeep. The CJ models had a run from 1945 all the way to 1981. And 1981 is the year that Chrysler took over, which means this is also the year of the first generation Wrangler, the YJ. The YJ had a production run from 1981 to 1996, and the best way to tell a YJ apart from the other models is its unique square headlights. In 1996, the YJ was replaced with the TJ. Now, the TJ model was the first Jeep Wrangler to feature a Rubicon package, and the first model to switch from a steel leaf suspension to the coil spring suspension. Then 10 years later, in 2006, the TJ model was replaced with the JK model. Now, this generation of Jeep was probably the most controversial, mostly because it introduced a lot more technology than Jeeps used to have, and it also introduced a four-door model. As controversial as the four-door models were, they actually ended up outselling the two-door models by around estimated 75%. That's kind of crazy. And finally, in 2017, the JL model replaced the JK version, making the JL Wrangler the most modern version of the Jeep Wrangler. Now let's talk about some specs. The Jeep that we're talking about today is the 2015 Unlimited Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Its engine is a 3.6-liter V6 engine that gets you about 285 horsepower with 260 pound-feet of torque. As far as fuel economy goes, you'll get 17 miles per gallon in the city and 21 highway. Now, quick note, if the JK model Jeep Wrangler is older than 2012, it's going to have a slightly different engine, slightly less power. So the stats that I just mentioned apply to the 2012 and above models of the JK Jeep Wrangler. Now, the word Rubicon refers to its trim level, and while most Jeeps are ready to go off-road, the Rubicon version is especially off-road ready. It comes stock with 32-inch tires, larger front and rear Dana 44 axles, electronic differential lockers, a special four-wheel low drive mode with an upgraded transfer case, and I think this is the coolest part, so it's got electronically releasing sway bars. So while you're on the road, you can have the sway bars engaged, and when you're off-road, you can disengage the sway bars. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, just know that it's really good for off-road. Moving on to the exterior, you'll notice that the Rubicon trim has a big fat sticker on the front of it saying Rubicon. That's how you can differentiate it between the other trims. Like I mentioned before, you'll have rock guards on the sides, also on the front to protect the front bumper and those side panels. You'll have a removable top, either soft top or hard top. You can choose between the two. Personally, I like the hard top better. I live in an area where it snows during the winter, and I can appreciate more consistent temperatures and less road noise. However, it is more of a pain to remove. One last thing to mention on the exterior, on the back door, you'll actually have a place to mount a full tire. Not just a spare tire, a full-size tire, which means if you get flat on the trail, you can pop that tire off, pop the fresh one on, and you'll be good to go. Moving on to the interior, Jeeps are rugged and meant to be driven off-road. That being said, you're not going to see a lot of modern comforts in this car compared to other SUVs. For example, you have the choice between leather seats or cloth seats. They will be heated in the Rubicon trim, and you'll also get a 6.5-inch display at the front. Now that's about where all the modern comforts kind of stop. You'll get air conditioning and power windows, and an upgraded 552-watt speaker system with a subwoofer in the back. That's about all the bells and whistles you'll get. I guess I forgot to mention the 110-volt power inverter in the middle console. What's cool about that is you can actually disable it or enable it depending on if you're expecting like water to come inside the car. But apart from that, that's all the bells and whistles. You're gonna have weather mats on the floor, mesh compartments to store things, and a lot of plastic covering that's easy to clean. Next to the steering wheel, you'll have buttons to control the differential lockers and the electronic sway bar controls, and the powered window controls are gonna be in the middle, right below the screen. Again, everything inside is gonna be plastic, more durable, meant to take a beating and endure the elements. Now that we've talked about the good, let's talk about some of the known issues the Jeep Wrangler has. Now, the first thing that's pretty common is going to be the heater. Sometimes it's known to be that the heater is pretty weak, or it just straight up doesn't work. That could be kind of an expensive repair. And the next issue to be aware of are the valve cover gaskets. This could potentially lead to some oil leaking. So if you smell some burning oil, that could possibly be the problem. And another potential issue could be with the suspension. So what's cool about Jeep Wranglers is that they use a 4-link suspension system. However, once you start modifying your Jeep, like adding lift kits or messing with the control arms, you end up changing that suspension geometry, which can open up a lot more possibilities for problems to occur. For example, the most famous one is going to be like the death wobble. Long story short, if you're looking at buying a modified Jeep, be sure to know what was modified and be sure to test drive it extensively. And if you're looking at buying a Jeep in general, it's always good practice to go get a professional inspection. They'll know a lot of the issues to look out for, because let's be honest, there are probably a lot more things that could go wrong than what I've mentioned here before. Now let's get into the price. Back when the 2015 Rubicon Unlimited launched, it retailed for about $39,000. Nowadays, that model is estimated to cost around $23,000. However, I have seen some dealerships charge around $26,000 to upwards of $35,000. So be sure to know the value of the truck you're looking for, and just don't let those dealerships take advantage of you. Now, the Jeep Wrangler isn't your typical SUV. Sure, you can use it as a daily driver, you can drive on freeways, you can drive around the city. However, it's not going to excel at doing those things. It's big, it's loud, you're gonna hear a lot of road noise, the suspension's pretty stiff, the seats aren't super road trip friendly. I know that from experience. However, this thing really does shine on the trails. It's rugged, it's meant to take a beating. It's got features you won't even need on the pavement, but are insanely valuable on the trail. If you're looking for something to drive, but you also want something for the outdoors, for the trails, the Jeep Wrangler might just be for you. Anyways, be sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button. We do these videos every week, and thanks for watching.